Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Needles at the Ready. I'm Kevin.
I'm Ray.
And this is episode 77.
Mm-hmm.
Today is January 7th,
Saturday.
2023. It's a Saturday. It's 10:36 a.m. here on the East Coast. So welcome, everybody.
Right.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, it's lovely to see you all. It's lovely to be back. I feel like we took a break, but we didn't take a break. It's been It's been a fortnight.
So I was going to say, if you've reached out to us like via email or Insta, we kind of did take a break. We haven't done any emails or Instagram stuff really over the past 2 weeks, which will be evident when we talk about what we've been watching.
Right. Which we needed it, right?
Oh,
I think everybody needs it from time to time to take a little bit of a siesta.
Yeah, we took a little time for ourselves over the past couple of weeks. It was really nice.
Yeah.
It was a good 2 weeks. So we'll just kind of start there, kind of how our 2 weeks went. So we went through Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, because we podcast last on
Christmas Eve. Oh, guess what today is, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
It's our 3-year Podiversary.
Woohoo! Cheers. Salud.
Round of applause.
As of tomorrow.
Technically 3 years ago.
Can you believe that we've been doing this for 3 years and we still can't get it right? That's crazy. Huge thank you for everybody that's followed us for the 3 years and the new people who've joined in on the fun. Thank you so much. We love doing this. And as we go through the podcast, we'll talk about some things that we have planned for the future because of all of you. So
yes. So back to our 2 weeks. So we had Christmas, which was a really nice day. It was warm Christmas, right? It was in the 50s here.
Yep. It was lovely. It really was. My mom hosted. Mom, if you're watching, thank you so much for hosting. You did a really, really great job. Her table was beautiful. We went over there and the kids got to open up their gifts first before dinner, which was actually worked out.
Yeah,
perfectly.
It worked out really well.
So they opened up their gifts while the food was finishing cooking. We had some really, really good food. You made some lasagna.
Yes, I made lasagna.
Your lasagna is like award-winning.
I don't know. It's so plain, though.
No.
It's so, I don't do anything special.
You put love in it.
Oh.
You drop little pieces of your heart in there. So that was really good. We spent a long time over there, I feel like.
Yeah, I think we were over there for a good 5 or 6 hours. We just hung out, ate, dinner, dessert, did gifts, and just chatted. So it was really nice.
Yeah, there were 14 of us, maybe, including the kids.
I believe so.
Something like that.
Yeah. And then, so that was kind of Christmas, and then Christmas fell on a Sunday. So that week I was off the Thursday Thursday, Friday. Saturday was Christmas Eve. Sunday, Christmas. Monday, we were both off. So we just hung out and watched TV. And then, so that was Sunday. Monday, we were both off. Tuesday, I was off.
Right. I wasn't. I went back to work.
You went back to work. And then New Year's Eve happened. And we kind of have a tradition. Obviously, with COVID, it was on pause for a couple of years, but we went over your brother and our sister-in-law's house and hung out with them and Reese and Riley. And Reese and Riley stayed up to midnight and enjoyed the ball drop.
This is the first year that that Reese, she's 7 years old, wanted to stay up and do the ball drop. So it was cute. We played some board games. There was our card game. It was called
Something Queen.
Something Queens.
It was thought up by a 6 or 7 year old, and them and their mother actually put it into production. It was really, really fun.
I'm sure all of you are going to ask what the actual game is.
I know.
We can link it down below, but
you know what? We'll send Isabel a message and we'll get the name
so
of
we'll
it.
link that. We'll link that down below. Down below, when we say that, for all of you new people or if you are not familiar, there's all of our show notes, everything that we talk about, our patterns and links and other YouTube channels and things like that can all be found down below this video. They changed it a little bit. It used to be that little caret that you would click on and it would open it all up. Now it says under the title, by the title, it says more. You click on more.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it says more ... and you click on more and it'll open up the description box below so you can read it all.
Interesting.
Yeah, so our contact information and stuff down there. But that was really fun. We played that game. We did homemade pizzas.
I made fried ravioli.
Yep, you made fried ravioli.
Brother made the chicken parm.
Oh my god.
Egg roll things, and they're delicious. They're super easy. Based on what I know of it, it's Tyson breaded chicken strips cooked. Then you put them in a wonton wrapper with some sauce and cheese, and then you fry that. It's one of the best things ever.
Sinfully delicious.
I mean, anything fried.
Correct. We actually had like this. We eat a lot of cheese, apparently.
We do.
On New Year's, we must not have realized it, because going back to thinking about our menus, like when we're thinking about like what do we want to bring, what are we going to have to like pick on, we usually do appetizers and pajamas. And
so much cheese.
We were like, okay, we're going to do this, and then like, is that a lot of cheese? Then we reached out to our sister-in-law, and she's like, well, yeah, I think that's all we do is cheese.
It actually impacted what we were going to, like, we planned out what we were going to eat the next, like, day.
Right, because you've got to plan that.
In case you're kind of hungover.
Yeah.
So we planned that out, and then we were like, oh, well, we can't get pizza, we can't get this, because it's all, like, cheese-based.
Right.
We're like, no, we got to just stop.
Right.
So, yes.
It was delicious.
And
it was really nice. It was a good time. We are so old, like, watching those... Really, right? Like, watching the specials.
With, like, all the musical guests and not knowing who any of them are.
No, I'm like,
funny.
Who is this person?
Yeah.
And then people from, like, TikTok are hosting, and you're like, whoa. It's so different.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. Weird.
So, yeah, it's actually been a really nice 2 weeks. Like, we definitely took a lot of time for ourselves and just kind of hung out.
Yeah.
And now we're just getting back to norm.
Yeah.
So.
Then we also had Dominic's birthday.
Oh my God, yes.
So we did that.
That was a fun time.
Mm-hmm. He turned 5.
Yes.
And that was nice. It was a smaller group. We just kind of hung out at my other brother's house. There for a few hours. It was really nice to see everybody.
Yeah, had food, drinks, some cake. It was a good time. Yeah. Is that everything?
I don't know. Let's check.
Let's check our freeform app.
So true to our word, we created another board.
We did
for episode 77.
And then the great desantification occurred.
The great desantification process.
I think it was the day after. No, New
Year's.
This is
our board for this episode.
Yeah.
Look how cute we are, huh? Organized and stuff.
New Year's Day, right? We took everything down.
No, the day Tuesday.
That Monday. So the 2nd.
Right, because New Year's Day was Sunday.
Correct. So Monday on the 2nd, we just desantified the house. We did. All the Christmas stuff.
And it always feels so empty afterwards.
It does. And one of the best gifts that I saw about that is the final shot of the Prince of Bel-Air when Will Smith is standing in the empty house.
Aww.
And I was like, that's exactly how it feels when you put Christmas away, because you just have so much free space. There's so much real estate available in the home now.
Right.
So it's very weird. It's really nice having the decorations up, but then it's nice not having that, I don't want to say clutter, but almost clutter feel.
Right, sure.
But then it's sad to have them gone.
Right. Like, our tree was much bigger this year than we ever had in the past. So we had to move a lot of furniture and stuff and rearrange our dining room, because we keep it in our dining room. And so trying to get around, for a month and a half, you're creating this new
barrier for you to get through your house. It was not fun this year. And it
was beautiful.
It was a beautiful tree.
Yeah.
The height of it was perfect.
Right.
The width of it was too much. So that's just
much.
something we have to be mindful of.
Yeah, I agree. Did we get a picture of that tree?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
And I think that's it. I think that's kind of how we're
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. We, had a couple of days off here or there. I took some extra time off of work. An extra day, I think I took.
That week, you didn't work that Friday, right?
No, I only worked Tuesday, Wednesday. I took that Thursday off as well.
Oh, okay.
Between Christmas and New Year, which was really good.
Yeah.
And then last week was a 4-day work week, so we had Monday off.
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah, so it was, it was nice. It was nice to just
be.
So we did catch up on comments, I think, on YouTube.
We did.
So we responded or liked every one of your comments. And then that's it. We also drew a winner.
Yep.
So last podcast, we had a giveaway for this Pom Pom magazine. This is the Horizon issue, number 43. And we had asked that you leave a comment down below the previous video with Pom Pom in the comment. So we did a random comment picker using the keyword Pom. And we drew a winner.
This is Mary Jo. Congratulations. You are the winner.
Yay.
So just reach out to us, via email. The email is down below in the description.
It's needlesatthereadypodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, it's super
It's a mouthful.
I know.
Maybe if we get a website, we'll have something a little bit better.
All right. So,
this will be our year, kiddo.
Yeah. So I think that's it, right?
That's it. So congratulations. Get to us, like Kevin said. We'll make sure that we ship this out. We actually did not hear from our winner for the Two Sheeps calendar.
We'll reach out to him.
So we will reach out to you, and if we don't hear back
by the
next podcast, we'll draw a different person, because it is a calendar, and we're already going to be gone with the month of January by the time we choose this additional winner. If we don't hear back from our previous winner.
You know what? We did actually
He's a really handsome person.
Yeah. We did get a little bit of news, too. That's kind of secret.
We did?
Yeah.
Tell me. Do I know?
So, we also...
sorry.
Someone we know, it's a bit of a secret, is expecting twins.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
In June.
Right.
So expect a lot of baby knits this year.
I know. And then my assistant manager and his wife are also expecting a baby, so I need to...
tons of baby knits.
Tons of baby
You're going to
knits.
see like 500 baby vertebrae.
Right. No.
But... one more thing that we have to discuss too. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, carry on. Carry on.
We are prize donors. For
the new to you Mal
2023, which is hosted by Cocktail Hour at the Coop.
Yes.
That's Liz and Leanne of Liz of Arrow Acre Farms. They have an alpaca farm in Jersey. I want to say it's by like Point Pleasant, New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere over there. So they've been hosting this for about, I think they said 5 years. And the idea is with a fiber-related craft that you try something new. It could be a new stitch. It could be a new skill.
A new way to knit socks.
Right.
Anything at all.
A new heel.
Right. You want to try weaving. You want to try crocheting if you're not a knitter. Or if you're not a crocheter, you're a knitter. They created a really cool graphic. So we'll start posting on Instagram. And the way that you enter is by using the hashtag NewToYouMal2023. All of the information will be linked down below in our show notes. We have the start and the end date. It started January 1st, and it ends on February 14th. It's Valentine's Day.
And so you don't have to finish the project.
Nope.
Or you don't have to finish it. I would definitely recommend going to watch Liz and Leanne's most recent episode.
Which I linked that one below, where they talk about all of the details, and then they mention a lot of the prize donors. Usually the way that it works is that... Did you say this?
No.
Is that... So there's quite a lot of prize donors. I took a little picture of it so we can talk about some of them if we wanted to. But... all of the prize donors are going to be donating one prize for the grand prize winner. So if you're the grand prize winner, you will win like 12 different prizes.
Yep.
And then some of us are also choosing our favorites and sending a separate prize.
Well, our favorite.
And sending a separate prize to that winner. So really, really cool. So use the hashtag NewToYouMal2023, and then you'll be entered. And like Kevin said, you don't have to finish it. It could be a progress picture. It could be, just you talking about your process. You could frog the product, like whatever. So where is it? Okay, so here's a couple of them. I don't know how inclusive this is because this was posted a little while ago by Cocktail Hour at the Coop. But obviously Arrow Acres Farm, Paige the Framer, Knit and Coop, Cinematic Skeins, Woolen Women Fibers, Andrea Crazy for Knitting. Some of these are not all like vendors or small businesses. Some of them are just people who wanted to donate a prize, which I thought was really, really cool. Fiber MacGyver, Meadow Sweet Farms, Sassy Karen, whom we love. She's so fun. Us, Kate Solomon, Johnny Bo Dies. We love him. Earth Tones Girl, that's Denise. Bloom Handmade Studio, Grace and Pearl, Feederbrook Farm.
So that's pretty much all of them, not just some of them. That's everybody. Right?
That's all of the ones that was listed
on
their Instagram post, but they go through every single one on their video. And then they're going to be putting something together, I think, to showcase some of the makers. And yeah, it should be a really, really cool time. We've seen this. This is like the third year, I think, that they're doing it. Yep. Third or fourth year. And we've always watched the progress. We've never really taken part in it. So we're really lucky this year that we're able to do that and donate something. So we're not 100% sure what we're going to donate. Probably some of Kevin's yarn. And then maybe we'll put together like a bag or something with maybe some of our stash.
And I just ordered the thing I need to try my new to me now. So
right.
You'll see that, I think, the next episode.
Thanks, Carrie.
All right.
So I think that's all of the administrative stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things we may get to or we may not get to, we always say that we will, but we sometimes forget, is that we also have a lot of coupon codes that these incredible businesses and makers have provided to us to provide to you, to share with you. So they're linked down below as well.
I'll do them towards the end.
We always say that, and then we forget.
I've been forgetting to do it. It was just something I typically did, but I'll do it when we get to like acquisitions and stuff.
In case we forget.
So now that we've wasted 16 minutes,
there's no waste.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
Let's talk about some knitting.
Let's talk about baby.
3. No, that's a lie. I have 2 FOs.
Lovely. This tea is much better.
And I think I have 3 whips.
Okay, I have 2 FOs and 3 whips.
Okay. All right, I'm going to start with an easy one. I don't have it here. I have pictures. So,
Completely adorbs.
Finished my Gramps Cardigan, which is a pattern by Tin Can Knits. I knit this for our nephew Dominic for his... It was supposed to be for Christmas, but I was sick, so I didn't do a lot of knitting. And his birthday party got postponed by like 2 weeks, so it worked out really well. So I was able to finish this the day of his party.
It's so good. I want an adult version.
So here is the Gramps Cardigan.
That's so great. Is that you have a project page?
No, I do have. Here's a little picture of him wearing it. It fits incredibly well.
It really, look how cute.
I know. So I made the size for a 5 to 6 year old, and it's knit on a US 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter, and a US 6, which is a 4 millimeter needle. I used what bag did it live in? This bag, I think. I bet you not. I don't think it's in this bag. No. Oh, it was living in this bag by Whimsy Stitches. Yes, which I love. So the yarn that I used for the project was Wool of the Andes worsted weight superwash in Oyster Heather. So this was my main color. I used about 2 skeins of this, I think. And then for my stripes, because I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough of this, I wanted some stripes. I used Wool of the Andes worsted weight superwash in Delft Heather. And what's fun is Ray knit or used this in his Montrealer.
Yes.
And I used this as the main color in my Montrealer. And then for the cuffs of the arms, the body, and my shawl collar, I used this yarn. It is Taki Yarns. Their classic superwash, which is actually a DK weight, if I remember. It is color 3, which a beautiful color.
Yeah, it's my favorite, color 3.
I used this in my Beauceron. That one was wet in my tea.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Ooh, I threw it. Mm-hmm. So it's a really lovely pattern. So a couple things
cool yarn
that I learned is with striping, when you're doing increases for the raglan, a knit front to back is not my favorite way to do it. I wish I remembered which one I changed to. I wonder if I just like picked up and knit a stitch or just created a stitch. But yeah, I created like this little stripe or this little blip, which I wasn't a fan of. If I were to go back and do it again for my short row shaping, I would do a German the German one, where
German
you just pull.
cast on?
No, the short rows.
Oh, German short. Oh, wait, you just pull it forward.
Yeah, I didn't.
I like those.
The way that I picked up my wrap and turn, it wasn't consistent on both sides. I didn't think about where the wrap was going to show when I picked it up. So on one side, it was a little bit, you can see it. The other side, you really couldn't. So if it showed on both sides and it matched that detail, I would have been fine with it.
Right.
I didn't pay attention. But I thought it was a great knit. The pattern's super easy. It's very size inclusive. Let's pull that up.
Because they have the adult version as well, right?
Yes.
Or is it all in the same pattern?
No, it's all in the same pattern.
Oh, really? That's
yeah.
Cool.
And if anybody, I know we get this asked here and there, but so for us to manage our patterns and keep track of them, we use the Good Notes 5 app. It is a paid-for app. It's not like Knit Companion or anything like that, but it just works for us.
Right. It's a PDF reader, so as long as the pattern's in PDF form, it can go there. You can create folders and things. You can write on them.
Yeah. So this goes from a 0 to 6 month up to a 4XL, which would be a 59.5 inch chest. So really great options. And it's just, I mean, look.
I know.
I opted to not do the, as you can see here, there's the elbow patches. I did not do those. I ran out of time. And
I don't think they needed it.
The other thing I did not pay attention, or I paid attention, but my count was off, is the pattern calls for 5 buttons, and it says to space them evenly, which I did my maths wrong. Oops, sorry.
You are just dropping everything.
I know. I did my maths wrong, and I ended up doing 6 because there was too much space. There would have been too much space between button 5 and the shawl collar.
Bless you.
Thank you. So that is my first FO.
It was really cute.
It's so freaking cute.
Like in person, it was adorable.
Yeah,
absolutely
and
adorable.
he just looks like such a little man wearing it. It's great.
It's super cute. Okay, so my FO is one that you've seen. You've seen them before, but these I finally finished my Falling in Love socks.
So cute.
So cute. This is using the collaboration between Michelle over at Woolenzanosh and Denise of Earth Tones Girl. It was their fall colorway. I cast these on quite a while ago. It took me a little bit of time to knit them because we kind of shifted to gift knits.
Right.
But I absolutely love this color. It's probably one of my favorite self-striping. I did a cut-in heel, Afterthoughts heel, and toe in the contrasting colors. We got the main skein and a mini, so I was able to do that. The cuff, I did a little garter stripe there, which I think kind of looks cool.
Yeah, you typically like doing that, but I know that there was some point where you said you were going to stop doing that.
I stopped doing it, and then this one I wanted to try again because what I did was previously I would just purl one row and then continue knitting. So for this one, I did the cup. This is on Ravelry, by the way, so you can see my sock recipe on Ravelry. I use US 1 2.25 millimeter needle, and I did 72 stitches. Did a twisted German cast on, or German twisted cast on for the cuff, which is my my go-to. I did a 2x2 rib for 15 rows, and then I knit one row, then purled a row, I think, and then I knitted instead of just purling the row right after the garter, and I think it helps it pop out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So you can see it a little bit better.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can kind of see like there's a little bit of it looks like it's separated, which I really like. The yarn is wonderful. It's one of my favorites. This one was washed already, soaked, and then put on the sock blockers. So it looks, I love how crisp everything looks off of a sock blocker.
It really
does. It looks
help.
like a regular sock, which it is obviously a regular sock.
Yes.
I also, for this, I cast on I mean, I already talked about this before, but for anybody who hasn't seen it, I cast on right at the color change. So this was the color that I was casting on, like the tail portion of it. So it created that little pop of color, and they both match.
Yeah, it's a really great way to, if you want matchy, it's a really great way to make the match.
Yep. So I'm very, very happy about these. I can't wait to wear them. They fit really, really well. And yeah, I think that's about it.
All right. So next up, I finished a pair of socks. So these are my Woolenzanosh.
So good. Oh my god, I'm wearing mine today. I didn't even do it on purpose.
2022 holiday advent.
Yep.
I do a 64 stitch German twisted cast on. I use Andrea Mowry's video for that.
Yeah.
Now I don't watch it anymore, but that's how I learned, and I would go back to reference it if I forgot. I did a 1x1 twisted rib.
I like how
for
that looks.
I think 18 rows, and then I did my color stripes, and then what I did, which I haven't done this before, is I did the bullseye.
I love it.
Heel, and the reason actually
really
I did this is because it's the first pair of socks where we both have the same color. So it's like, it's going to make it really easy to see whose is whose. Like,
although your cuff is very different.
And the length is a little bit different, but this makes it way easier just to see this.
Yeah.
So I did a pretty good job, I think, of making those match as well.
Yeah.
And actually, that's a really good. So here's a good example of the difference in our stripes. So because you cast on 72 stitches,
I did.
You're getting
less rows,
8
per
more
stripe.
stitches, 8 more stitches per row. So you're getting smaller stripes than I am because I have less stitches on the needles.
Yeah. So and I did mine. I did a twisted rib as well. But
you do about 15.
Yeah.
Or 12.
I might have done 12 on this one. 12 to 15. It's on my project page, I think, on Ravelry.
So yeah, really interesting to see where...
But you can see where it starts out, and then, we start...
Where does...
losing.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And so I ended mine at a different place than you.
Yeah, I ended mine on yellow.
Because we were different sizes.
Look at how much of a difference that is. Wait, show that again. So, here's your last yellow stripe. No. How many yellow stripes do I have? 1, 2, 3. You have 1,
2, 3.
All right. So this is your third yellow stripe, and this is my third yellow stripe. Well, that's a huge difference.
I got some big dogs.
Wow.
But also, my leg might have been a little bit different than yours as well. But
so yeah, so these are done. This is her Michelle's 90% Targi, 10% nylon, 3-ply.
Thank you. I didn't say that from the other one.
It's again one of our favorite self-stripers.
Yeah,
I just love the base. I love the wear of these. So it's definitely something I will do again next year. So I had mine living in my bearded pearl bag, and I have quite a bit of yarn left over.
I had some left over too. Yeah.
So again, it came in this cute little bag. It was separated. So I have, between these two skeins, I have 30-something grams and another 30 with these two skeins. So if I changed up what I did, I actually have enough probably to do another pair of socks.
Probably.
Yeah.
I just don't know what I would do. If you do the contrasting heels and toes, you probably can do that.
Heels, toes, and cuffs.
Maybe.
Probably. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but that is that.
That could be really cool in a self-striping scrappy project.
I actually just thought.
Or you can do something like this.
I could. Or I was thinking, should I use the self-striping for the cuff, the heels, and the toes, and then the body in the black?
Well, that could be interesting. You won't get a lot of stripes, but...
I know. We'll see.
Yeah.
So that is... Those are my finished objects?
Great. I forgot to mention, for these socks, I had I had 18 grams left over from the main skein, and I had 6 grams left over for the mini, and that's just using the heels and the toes. And then, like I said before, in order to make them match, I did pull off some of the yarn just to make sure that they started at the same place. And here's the tag, which I really like. That's Earth Tone Girls logo and Woolenzanosh logo, and then the information about the yarn.
Very nice.
Sorry I missed that opportunity to share the deets with y'all.
Oh, I left something downstairs. That's fine.
What?
You have it.
I do?
Yep.
What is it?
Oh. Yeah.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
It may not be down there when you go down there.
It will be. All right. You're up.
Don't you have another FO?
No, I did my 2.
Oh.
You're up.
Okay, so this one is the Drifter Shawl. I finished. And I'm not prepared with my good notes not up. But I will pull that up for you presently. See, this is how it's set up, for how I have mine set up. So here are patterns. So I click on that, and then you have I have everything in a
like sweaters, socks, blankets, hats, things like that.
So this is the Drifter by
Tammy
Gore. We did a modified 2-color version. The cool thing about this pattern is when you buy it, there's a 3-color version and a 2-color version. So we kind of played around with just adding a little pop of color in there. So we modified the 3-color version a little bit, and you'll see it in my shawl. So this is it. It's actually quite long, and it was a little difficult to block because it was so long. So it starts there. And I'll talk about the yarn in a moment. What? Wow. So it's very drapey. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, it blocked beautifully.
I think so too. That was the right side.
Yeah, this is the right side.
Yeah, but I think the point comes down like that. I don't know. Right. I think we showed it like that, but it comes like that. So this is not the best sweatshirt, but however they would want to wear it.
Yeah.
It drapes really nice. It's like a scarf.
I said when you brought it downstairs today, I told Ray that it reminded me of the length and the width of Pure Joy, which is a very wearable shawl.
Totally.
So this is a really good. I think this is a good 2-skein project.
Yeah, me too. It takes a little bit of time. I think it's fingering weight.
But not awful.
No, because it grows this way. So you're knitting this way. You have the same amount of stitches. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the same amount of stitches at all times. And or does it go this way? No, this way. That just seems like a lot of stitches.
It does.
But maybe that's right. Yeah, it ends up being like 140 stitches or something like that. It's not much, but you just go back and forth, and then you just have to pay attention, add in the slip stitches here.
Yeah, there's a little mosaic knitting in it. So it's garter and mosaic for the most part.
So this is where I added... So my yarns that I used was Trilogy Yarns in her Inconceivable sock set, which was part of the Princess Bride, one of her Princess Bride clubs. She's like queen of clubs. She has so many fun clubs and so many cool ideas. We talked about their Broadway club last week, which was really great. And a lot of you purchased some of that. So thank you very much. Nancy shared that she got some orders from you guys. So I really, really appreciate it. It's always nice to be able to support our friends and local businesses or independent businesses. So this came with a mini, which is here. This is all I have left. So I wanted to use these together with this yarn, which is from Superfine Yarn Co. It's in her Erie single base. So this is a singles.
Very nice.
It's 400 yards. I didn't weigh these, but I don't really have very much left.
No, I would say like 20 of that one, maybe.
Maybe
and
20 grams or
30
so.
of the other.
Yeah. This is in Charmer, one of a kind colorway. And I have to say, like, I'm sometimes apprehensive about using single ply because I don't feel like it might not be as strong, especially in a shawl, but it does create such a really nice fabric and a really nice drape.
The shawl's the first place I would use one.
Yeah,
because of the drape. I wouldn't use it in socks,
like
or probably for a sweater because it would pill a lot. But I think for a shawl for a female, it's different. Like I wouldn't do a shawl for myself because of my facial hair.
Yeah,
it would, I think, become a little pilly.
Yeah. So this, I wasn't sure about the stripes. Like as I was knitting it, I had a hard time seeing the difference when I was knitting it, but you can absolutely see the difference with the stripes. And I think it's pretty subtle. The only clue that we had, this is a gift.
Yes.
So the only suggestions that we had, or direction really, was that they both like the beach. And so I think this has some really cool, soft, watery undertones, like beachy undertones. And then I love the pop of yellow.
Yeah.
In there. So that's yellow, right? Yes.
It's like a chartreuse.
Chartreuse sea green?
Yeah.
Oh, but that's pretty. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
I love it. I'm glad that it's done.
Yeah,
I have one more.
You were done with that when you were, like, before you finished it, you were done.
I think I was just burned out with the gifts. We are definitely starting
earlier.
Way earlier. And a lot of you are on board for like the Christmas in July start your gifts knit along or something like that. Maybe we can do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we normally have a knit along in July.
I think we do. Let's hear it for the boys usually. Until, don't we usually do June to August? Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Or we just don't even have to do an official knit along. We could just do like a let's
start your stuff.
Yeah, start your stuff. I have to get better at that.
No, it's okay. You've just been becoming a little loose lips with all your curse words lately.
Loose lips sink ships. So that's that. I'm really happy. I used the recommended needle size. I think it's a US 6 on that one. And
yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. And there's just back and forth garter with those slip stitches. So it got, you know what it is, I think? Those aren't my favorite colors. So maybe that makes a difference.
It does play.
Because I'll show you on one of my whips. I'm so into it right now, and it's just garter. But I think it's the yarn and the colors that make a difference for me. And it's for me.
Right. There's a different feel when you're knitting with colors that aren't yours.
Yeah.
And also a gift.
Sure.
And at Christmas time, there's that crunch. And we just naturally put a little pressure on ourselves to try to get stuff done. So it's not always enjoyable.
Yeah.
It takes the joy out of it sometimes when you're rushed like that.
Although there's nothing like getting to the end of a project like that. Yeah. And like I get excited. Like, oh my gosh, I have like 20 rows left. You know, I start like at the Christmas morning feeling like, can't wait to get this done. This is so exciting.
I was just going to say something else that was mid...
I don't know. And I just laid that flat to dry. I soaked it and then I laid it flat to dry. I did not stretch it out or pin it. Just FYI, that is not on my Ravelry page, but it will be by the end of the day. Because you know what I ended up doing was going through... Oh, we could talk about that.
We didn't bring up our other
Well, we don't have any more FOs, so maybe we can talk about it now before we start our whips.
Well, there's 3 things that we need to get from downstairs.
What?
The Christmas gift that we got each other.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
and then my other thing of that.
All right. Would you want me to go and get that? Do you have anything else to say? Or do you want to go get that while I can talk about my year recap?
Oh, I forgot my recap. It's downstairs.
All right. Why don't you go and I'll start. Okay. So, and I mean, we do whatever we want. So, you guys know that I've been really committed last year to writing down all of my projects and trying to stay up to date on creating project pages. I lapsed a little bit on the project pages. I think I did update, I did create a project page for the majority of the projects that I did in 2022. However, I think I missed some. What I did not lapse on was keeping track in my little knitting journal that I always keep in my DellaQ like makers case. And so this is 2022 here. I went through, I thought it would be fun to go through. I've seen a lot of people, you know, do this to see how many projects they've knit and how many of what type of thing that they've done. And I've never been able to do that because prior to last year, I hadn't kept track of my projects. So last year I did, and I did very, very well. I had, I knit less than I thought I did, according to this book, but I almost filled up the book. I have, these are all my projects in here. I have a little bit left over to go through, and it was fun to go back and look at my projects and see, thank you, and see, you know, what I wrote down, and it helped me to update Ravelry where I could. So, and I'll show you my new notebook as well. I loved the idea of just putting stickers on it. So my new one, I have stickers on as well. I went a little sticker crazy. You'll see when I get thirsty and have a drink.
I have to do that today.
You don't have to do anything. You can if you want to.
No, I would like to.
Okay, folks. So I have my totals for 2022.
Me too. Mine is way more official.
And wow, that's okay.
No,
we're our own people. So I ended up for socks. I'll give you a minute. How many pairs of socks do you think I knit in 2022?
10.
I knit 7.
Good job.
Pairs of socks in 2022. Sweaters, I did 2. For me, adult sweaters. Kid sweaters, I did 3. I did that one poncho. Do you remember that poncho from Church and Mouse Yarns? I did 9 hats, which that was the most I did of any specific item.
How many of them were muscle bars and sock hat combined?
No Musselberg. No Muscle Bro. No.
None this year.
I don't think so. That was 2 years ago. Wasn't it? I didn't go that crazy.
I don't know. That'd be interesting. I would have thought it would have been more.
No, you know my most... I did one sock head.
Really?
Yeah.
What was your... Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did 1 sock head this year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I definitely...
No, I did 2.
My contact is really awful today.
No,
I gotta remember to put a new one in.
Contact?
Yeah.
I have to replace mine too. The most hats that I knit was the Harlow worsted. I did
3?
like 3 of them. Yep. I did 5 shawls last year. 2 blankets. I counted that crochet blanket because I did finish it in 2022, but I started it in 2021.
Absolutely.
But I counted it. Yeah, I did. I knit 3 cowls. 1 washcloth. I did 1 washcloth in 2022. And then I also did 4 felted projects. I think I might have done more because I just looking up there, and I don't know if I did the Christmas tree.
No, you did these this year? Because you
I
got
think
those
all...
at Connecticut Sheep and Wool. That
what?
was right. Wasn't that your first going gnome, Connecticut Sheep and Wool?
No.
Yeah.
Where did I get the Christmas tree gnomes from?
I
can't remember.
Those guys.
Yeah, those guys. Those are called Christmas tree gnomes.
I think that's the first time that we saw them.
Okay. So I got... All right. So I did... I think I did more. I wrote down 4, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I did 6.
7. You've done 7.
I forgot about this guy up here as well. There may be a new gnome coming our way. Not necessarily a gnome. A new going gnome thing coming our way. I did that pine cone dude. I did 4 ornaments. And then I probably did some other things that I must not have captured. Those little projects.
Yeah, I know. Mine seem...
But I don't think so. So I did a total of 33 knit projects this year. Or knit or crochet projects. And then a handful of accoutrement. So I thought I did more than 33 projects. But I guess that's not bad.
Well, your ornaments would count as knit anyways.
Yeah, but they're little.
Hey, it's something finished.
Oh, and speaking of ornaments... Last time we talked, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the snowmen. Remember those little snowmen? So I made the decision and decided to put they're very cute.
They are.
I decided to use sticks for their arms, and I used my little hot glue gun to do it, and I added some buttons to them.
And the face, the smile.
And the smile. So those were my snowman ornaments that I had done. So I took that picture on Christmas Eve at 6:11 p.m. So that's when I made the decision after our podcast to go ahead with the sticks, and I think that they are very, very cute. So I knit a total of 4 of those.
Nice.
And so that was my notebook from last year.
I did not keep a notebook. I did not do project pages. So what I had to do was go through our show notes, and I think I may have missed some stuff. So I show that I've made a total of 27 items last year.
That's good. You had large
6 hats, 3 shawls, which seems unlike me. That doesn't seem like a lot. I know
you still have like 7 shawls on the needles.
Let's not 4. I'm trying to think. I know I did the one for Beth. The one for my mom's
PT.
Yeah.
And then you did Lava Lake.
And then Lava Lake. And maybe that's it. I don't know if I did my mom's last year. Maybe not. Maybe not. Whatevs. So 3 shawls, 6 dishcloths.
Wow.
4 socks, 2 cowls, 3 adult sweaters. Actually 28. 3 baby sweaters and 1 felted item.
There you go.
So 28 is what I came up with.
Lovely. Just lovely. And then for this year, I started... These were in my stocking, I think. Or Kevin had bought these for me for Christmas. And so I have new notebooks, and I added some fun stickers that we had. You'll see there's quite a bit of Les Garçons on
today.
Here. Because there's a large project using all of their yarns in this notebook. So I thought it was fun to have the stickers kind of reflect
what you're doing,
what a large project might be in here, you know? So I have about 4 of these notebooks, and I did start. My 3 projects are already in here.
Good job.
Thanks.
Before I forget, too, we purchased some new lighting. So if the lighting's off, let us know. If it's good, hopefully it's good. I think it looks good. We do based on what we see on screen. So if it is off or it looks weird, just let us know, and we can make some adjustments to it for next time. But with that being said, let's move on to whips. I'm going to start because...
I don't know why I'm doing this.
All right. So this is living in my Twinkle and Twilight Harry Potter bag.
Do we have that link down below? Did we
I don't know. So the only reason I'm starting with this is because you just finished with it. This is my Drifter. Oh, yeah,
good idea.
Shawl by Tammy Gore. So I am using yarn by Lolo Did It, which is this one. What the hell is this yarn? What yarn is this? Oh, that's a mini. Okay. This.
How you live in your knitting world, it gives me anxiety.
Lady Sybil's dress. This was part of the Downton Abbey Upstairs and Downstairs Club, and this is from June 2020. And then my main color is some yarn that we got from Knit New Haven. This is Sweet Georgia Tough Love Sock in the Windswept colorway. Both of these, if I'm not mistaken, are 80-20. Yeah, both are 80-20. And then the third color I kind of threw in, but it really didn't do much for it, is from Hugh Loco. Her color, it's called Pistachio. Right? Yep. Which is also 80-20. Hugh Loco. And it is this lovely green colorway with some speckles in it. So I'm almost done with this. I have completed section 6 of 7. And I'm actually knitting mine on my Addie's interchangeable set, which I don't knit with my Addie's too often. So mine's a little harder to see, but it gives you a good idea of the shape and how it's built. So this is mine.
I love these colors, Kev.
So
this is definitely beachy and water and
this
stuff.
Is watery. This is a nice light color. It has some sand undertones.
Love how these go together in the slip stitches there.
And then what I did up here, which you can't see, so I'm kind of bummed, is I used pistachio up here as the contrast color. You really can't see it. I don't think. Here, we'll move it up. Right? It's kind of hard to see because it's so light.
I think you might have to wait for the stripes to happen, and then those will start picking out some of those.
Well, that's if I was going to go back to this for the next section. Oh. I only used pistachio in section 6.
Oh yeah, you're not using a mini, so you have more time or more opportunities to use that more.
So it didn't do what I was hoping. I still think it's pretty, but
it is pretty.
Yeah. So I am on.
This is gorgeous.
Section 7 now. That actually to me feels like it's going to be the longest of all the sections.
This is this is definitely the longest.
This one here,
yeah,
or section 7. This is section 1.
Right. Section 1, I think, is the longest.
I thought section 7 looked long.
So, this is section 1.
Yep.
Here, and then section 7. I mean, oh yeah.
Yeah, section 7. Yeah.
Sections. Like all section 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, right. So yeah, it's great. It's an enjoyable knit. I like it. I like the pattern. I'm glad that we did it or chose this one.
He chose this one and forced me.
Lies. I gave other options. We didn't have to do the same one.
Correct. But they'd look cute. It's mother-daughter.
Right. We're making it for my sister-in-law and her mom.
Right.
My brother asked us to make them a scarf, aka a shawl.
Yeah, because non-knitters sometimes don't know.
Yes, absolutely. And again, that's knit on US 6 4mm needles.
Great. Lovely.
You are up.
All right, so this one, there's not much to show, but this is the Ashine Hat. It's spelled OISIN. It is linked down below. It's a cable hat. I wanted to do a really cool cabled hat, and I love that there are 2 different kinds of cables there.
Yeah.
It's a really cool pattern. The guy obviously sold me on it as well. It's
such a sucker for a pretty person.
I mean, he's good looking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He's got that LL Bean vibe to him, which I really enjoy that vibe.
Yeah, I think I could see it.
Yeah. But it's also, it's definitely anybody can wear the hat. Obviously. So it's knit with 3 different needles. You start with US 4 for the cast on. There was a tubular cast on in here, which is really cool. It is a paid for pattern, but it's probably the cleanest, neatest way that I've seen to do a tubular cast on. I had never done one like this before, and she walks you through the entire process. Did I say who it was from?
I don't. It's Hudson and West.
Hudson and West. Megan Babin is the one who designed this. And I'm using yarn that I got at Rhinebeck from Green Mountain Spinnery. It's in their weekend wool base. It's a 2-ply worsted weight, 100% American wool. I believe they were 50-gram skeins, 140 yards.
Yeah.
And so I bought 2 of them. The colorway is Fawn, 9757, and that's what this is here.
Yeah, it's a really nice oatmeal color.
It's Carrie's favorite color. Carrie from Creative Obsession was with me when I purchased this, and she made all of the faces when I got it. She's not a huge fan of neutrals.
Carrie's neutral is purple.
Carrie's neutral is purple, yes. So, Carrie, this one is for you. I'm going to call this the Carrie hat. Just kidding. So, I only got some of the ribbing done. I have about an inch left to go. Half an inch left to go for the ribbing. It calls for 5 inches of ribbing, and then you start the cables, which is it's a charted cable pattern. So there's no written instructions on the cables. So here's the tubular cast on. It is so like, it's so round and like, it's so cool. Right? Doesn't it look so clean?
Yeah. I'm trying to think which one. Does the Hatch Hat have it?
I really like it. So so when it folds up, it's going to look really cool.
Yeah, it makes a very nice clean edge.
Very clean
edge.
Like
we're almost making it look like you did a provisional and then picked it up and, sewn on the inside a nice clean edge. It looks rounded. So it gives it a really finished look.
Yeah. And so...
and there's a bunch of different ways to do them.
There is. And the way that they I don't want to talk about it because it's a paid for pattern, so I don't know if it's just their technique of how to do it. But you ended up what you ended up doing was, in order to get the stitch count back and to start your 2x2, there's a cabling that you do here on one of the rows to cross your stitches back over and to create the ribbing, which I thought was really clever. So you can kind of see like there's some twist.
Yeah, where did I do that?
I don't know. Before. It was really, really neat. I'm very happy with the way that turned out. The yarn is very bouncy. I don't know if you felt it. It's very bouncy. It is.
It's very thick.
It's
very heavy.
Very plush.
Not heavy, but
right. Very plush. It's going to be a nice, very nice warm hat. And the cables look a little complicated, to be honest, but
you'll be fine
in
with
the charting. I don't know if I've ever really followed charts for cables 100% of the time. So I just need to make sure that I go slow and I know where I'm going. One of the things that I did, I do have to say, is that you cast on a ton of stitches for a worsted weight hat. It's like 120 stitches, which is usually the cast on number that you would do for I would do for a DK hat.
Yeah.
But you're using very small needles. So US 4 to do the cast on, the provisional cast on here. Or not provisional cast on, the tubular cast on.
Yep.
And then it's a US 5 to do the ribbing. And then I switched to the US 7 to do the body of the hat. So I was a little bit afraid that this would be like too wide.
It looks like a lampshade right now.
I know it does. But it's not. I think it'll fit.
I think you'll be okay because of the tight gauge and because you have cables. And
it's really plush.
Cables make a tighter fabric than stockinette. So.
But I think once this gets washed or like wet, I think the stitch definition is going to be really good because I think the stitch definition already looks really cool and plush.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
So that's the Ashine hat. And I'm really excited about it. So I wanted to do a cable hat. I'm happy to use yarn from our stash.
That leads me
with intention because I purchased this yarn specifically at Rhinebeck to do a cabled hat.
So that's a beautiful segue into what I was thinking about talking about.
That's why next. I did it, because we are right here. Carry on.
No, I'm done. Speaking of stash, that's one of our goals this year is to knit from stash. There's only 3 instances in which I will buy yarn.
Right. We've created a criterion.
I've stolen one from Kate from Knitting Posse. I thought it was a perfect idea.
Yes. Kate's our BFF.
Option 1 is a fiber event, which, as of right now, our plans are we're going to Knit City next month in New York. No. Not Knit City. That's a lie. It's called Vogue Knitting Live or Vogue Knitting.
Are you all going?
Yeah, if you're going to Vogue Knitting, let us know. We're going to do that next month in New York.
And we're looking to do Saturday and Sunday.
Possibly. That's what we're hoping to. We're trying to figure that out now. In May, we're going to do Knit City Montreal.
What? Get ready.
We're actually going to probably turn that into
needles at the ready in a different country.
We're going to turn that into a little vacay for us.
We have to get our passports, guys. We don't have our passports
We do. We have to... We have to wait for your thing came, right?
Yep.
Okay, so then we're good to go.
My birth certificate.
And then we're going to go to Connecticut Sheep and Wool. I think that's in June-ish.
Mm-hmm. Sometime in the summer.
Rhinebeck in October, and then New England Fiber Festival of New England in November.
So those are our
5 events. And those are the events that we could purchase yarn at.
But can we also purchase yarn at, like, if we decide to maybe go to, like, a trunk show?
Sure.
You know, like, say we go...
It's a fiber event.
Okay, good. How about just, like, a trip to the yarn store? Is
No.
that a fiber event? I'm just kidding.
No. Next up is if there's a project that we're actually casting on and we don't have the yarn for it. So it has to be an immediate cast on. Not something like, oh, I'm thinking about knitting this in the future. I'm going to buy some yarn for it. And then the last one is if Le Garçon comes out with a mystery club.
F them. We are suckers.
That's the criteria for buying new yarn.
Okay.
Okay, so next whip. Wait, my turn, right? Yes.
I only have 2. I have one. I have 2 more. I have 3.
Right, 3
I have
total.
2 more.
So I have 2 more. So this is a new one, living in my Fancy Boy Designs. It's one of my favorite bags. I love the
He's my favorite. This one. Doing downward dog, upward dog.
I love them all.
Yeah,
I think
they're really good.
So this is a pair of socks that I cast on Thursday. This is out of Woolenzanosh Wintermint.
This episode sponsored by Woolens
Le Garçon and Woolenzanosh.
Le Garçon.
And this is the 90% superwash targi and 10% nylon 3-ply. And
oh my god, it's so much even more beautiful seeing it in the light.
Here is what I've done so far.
Oh.
So I did the same thing Ray had just mentioned. I started my sock at the color change. Mm-hmm. So I have that little blip of
Isn't
color.
Isn't that fun to do?
Yeah. And then I did a 1x1 twisted rib. And I did it for 18 rows. And something I did... Would you mind grabbing your...
I don't mind.
Such a jerk. So what I did, and I believe I heard
These
this
guys?
from... Yeah. I did this... I believe it was Maddie who talked about it on the We Share Needles podcast. Maddie and Kristen, that we love.
We do love them.
So when I hit a color change in my cuff, I knit the row. I started all knits at that color change until I came back around to that stitch. And then I started purling my pearls again. So if you show yours where the color change happened, you could
like
see those
here.
Little blips. It's not a big deal. It really doesn't bother me, but I just wanted to try to avoid those from happening.
But you can definitely, you can see them.
Right? So you could see the little...
Especially when you're
change.
looking for them.
And then here, right, you can't see it.
No, and it gives it some really cool texture.
You don't... And you don't lose the ribbing either. So what I did is for my knit stitches in the ribbing, I continue to knit those through the back loop. And then when I switched my purl stitches to a knit stitch, I just knit it regular.
Oh, good idea.
So I back loop, front loop, back loop, front loop,
so
all the way around
pearls,
until I hit
knit.
like the green until the first purl stitch that was now a knit in green, and then I went back to purling.
And so if you're not doing like a twisted rib, you can probably just switch over to a regular knit.
Correct.
That would be fine.
With that being said, if I were to do something that had stripes that were this small here, like this section, I wouldn't do my cuff with the yarn. I would do a solid, just because I had to do that quite a bit, the change here, because the color change happened so quickly.
Well, because you have now they're different length stripes, which are really cool. The different widths, I mean.
Yeah, now I'm back to kind of how it would be, but this little bit here, it's the only thing I was like, oh man, that's 3 quick color changes. So the ribbing may be a little bit looser there. Otherwise, I love it. I think they're really pretty. I already had this caked up, and then we were watching Lisa over at Knit All the Yarn podcast, who's 72 Stitches on Instagram, and she had finished her pair of these pretty recently, and I was like, oh man, they're really pretty. I should cast those on as soon as I finish the Advent ones. So that's what I did. I brought this to work with me on Thursday, cast on, and got started. And then I worked on them yesterday.
Great job.
So
they are really, really nice.
Thank you.
We have a few skeins left.
Of what?
To get through for Woolenzanosh.
I know.
That might be my next pair of socks too. I like maybe I'll do. I think she has some DK.
I think that's what I'm going to do. So I think my goal is to go through like do my Woolenzanosh socks. I'm pretty confident I have. Well, I see 1, 2, 3. Do I really have 4 skeins?
Oh, see, this is a like.
Do I have a 5th one downstairs?
Mr. Fizzywig. Oh, this is Coriadale and nylon. Oh, interesting.
I think I have 4 more skeins of Woolenzanosh.
Okay.
Maybe 5. One of them is going in a shawl, though. I decided that last night.
Great idea. Oh yeah, we purchased
we did
that yarn specifically for that.
I'm going to use Percolate.
Typhoon shawl.
I'm going to use Percolate.
I have those socks out of Percolate that I love.
And I just need another skein of something else. Oh shit.
What?
Nope. I'm not going to say it out loud. I was like, oh, maybe I'll buy yarn from Woolenzanosh to complete it. Nope.
Maybe we include her in our. All right.
In our. All right. So you're up.
Okay. So the next one is a gift knit. This is ones that I wanted to do this knit during Christmas time. One of my friends at work, his wife is also very crafty. Her name is Michelle. Sometimes she watches the podcast. So Michelle, if you're watching, hello.
Hi, Michelle.
So she made, because obviously I work for those of you who don't know, I work at a hospital. And so we have to wear our badges, and she made badge clips for each of the seasons. And I left them at work. I had every intention of bringing them home so I could show it on the podcast. So she made me, these badge clips that have like for the season. So I think the first one I had was Halloween. It had like a cute little pumpkin on it. I don't think I took any pictures of it, but if I remember, I will bring them back. But anyway, she made one with a turkey, then some a Christmas one there's one for 4th of July or Independence Day. There's one for like the winter. She made like I have a whole plastic baggie full of these badge clips, and they're beautiful. So I wanted to do something nice for her to thank her for that. So I'm a little bit late on this, but it's still I think good for the season. So I decided to cast on the Point Edwards mitts. Again, I had made one of these already, one pair of these previously, and I ended up giving those to my mother. So these are Point Edward mitts by Fairlight Fibers, and I'm using. These are also living in a bearded pearl bag. Nope, that's a lie. That's a lie. My hat was living in that bearded pearl bag. This is living in my beautiful sister's bag that we got at Woolenfolk.
Yes.
And this bag is so cool. Anyway, I am using... Oh, no. Do I not have the tag? Oh, I do have the tag. It's underneath. I can fit a lot of things in this bag. So I'm using Dirty Water Dye Works is the yarn that I'm using. And the colorway Heliotrope, this is on their Lillian base, which is 100% superwash merino. It's fingering weight 400 yards, approximately, 400 yards. I don't know what I'm saying. And I'm holding it double because it is, oh my God, isn't that beautiful?
I bought that at Connecticut Sheep and Wool.
Like 7 years ago.
I could have been my first indie dyed yarn.
Yeah, that was before I knew anything about that. I'm like, why are you going to spend like $30 on yarn? Here we are.
That's when it was in the old place in Vernon.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm holding these double. It's a DK pattern. It calls for a US 4 needle. So I'm doing these on 9-inch circulars, which is really cool.
You're not going to do it?
I'm afraid I'm going to knock stuff over. Maybe I'll just pick this up and just kind of go into it and say 9-inch circular needles. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh. So these are really lovely. What we have, what? So you wanted me to do it and now
I was just thinking I forgot other stuff while we were downstairs.
Okay, maybe you should write things down in a notebook.
Well, no.
So these, I wish I brought it up, but I didn't bring them up. This is the Chowgu interchangeable small.
It's the blue cape.
The blue, yeah, they're the blue ones. So we have 2-inch and 3-inch tips in there, in some of the smaller sizes. I think they go up to a US 4 or a US 5. And I was just doing them in the round, which is really great. I finished, not finished, it's a whip. It's not even a half object yet. But one of the mitts I've gotten done except for the thumb. And the cool thing about these mitts, if you've never seen them before, and this is for somebody with smaller hands than I have. But what's cool about these is that you can, I like them this way. So you fold down the cuff here at the top, and you have your fingerless mitts, which are really cool. The thumb will do the same thing. It'll fold down. And then you can do all of the things that you like to do. And then if you get, cold, you want to cover up your fingers, you just pull them over and they cover up your fingers.
That is too. Looks quite small. May I try it on, please?
You may.
Thanks.
Gratitude. You're welcome. Gratitude. So it stretches nice and it's super wash. So when I block them, I'll probably soak them and then put my giant mitts in there just to give it a little bit of a stretch and then pull them off and let them dry.
Okay.
Don't they feel nice though?
Yeah.
They don't feel actually like super small.
Did you do twisted rib?
I did. That's what the pattern calls for.
Okay.
So it's a 1x1 twisted rib. I did a, I don't know if I did a German twisted cast on if I just did a regular cast on.
No, you did German twisted.
That's usually my cast on of choice for any kind of ribbing.
Yeah. What kind of bind off did you use?
So that I just thank you. I just bound off through the back loops.
Okay.
2 together through the back loops.
And then slip stitch back, 2 together through the back loops,
yep.
Switched it back. Okay.
Yep.
What?
Oh, I thought I didn't do a page. But here it is. Found it. Yep, needles are US 4, 9-inch circulars, Dirty Water Dye Works, Lillian base, held yarn double throughout. I did not write down what cast on I did.
You did German twisted.
I think
cast
it is
on.
German twisted.
Yeah.
So those are the mitts. I'll have those done soonish, maybe the next week or so. So I may not have them if I give them away prior to our next podcast. I'll have a
photograph.
Sorry, work is texting. Okay, that's that.
So what I was thinking that we left downstairs were the things that you ordered from You Printing.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you have it?
I do.
Okay. All right. So my last whip is also living in a beautiful sister's bag that I purchased from Woolen Folk. This was my New Year's Day cast on. So I decided to... Actually, I bought this yarn specifically for this hat, I believe. I heard about this yarn watching the ladies over at...
What's wrong? I'm sorry. I was distracted. Start
no,
over.
So this yarn I heard about from...
What yarn is it? Yarnia?
Yeah. Why can't I think of the podcast name?
Chronicles of Yarnia?
Thank you. From Chronicles of Yarnia. They are the shop owners of Yarnia in Montclair, New Jersey. So they've talked about Eco Tweed by... So it's Ella Wright Eco Tweed. It is an organically grown merino tweed blend. So it's 75% merino, 25% polyamide or polyamide. It is... I'm using it to make Snow Globe Hat by Tin Can Knits.
That's what I wanted to do. But
so this is Snow Globe by Tin Can Knits. What was cool about this pattern book, I got the entire book. I think it's like Lazy Sunday is the book. I got an ebook. Yeah, I got an ebook, and all the photos are in black and white, so that you could kind of not let the color of their projects deter you from making it, which is something we talked about quite a while ago with Stephen West patterns.
Yeah,
if like his patterns, the colors deter you from making it, take a screenshot, turn it black and white, and then see what it looks like without any color to see if the texture is something that you would enjoy doing.
Absolutely.
So here's the yarn that I'm using. So it's a nice, just neutral gray, and you see all the little tweedy bits, a bunch of colors in here. So you got like some reds and yellows, oranges and blues. So you got the whole gambit in this. This is color 2 called Driftwood. And it is knit on... Oh, crap. Do I have to take this out? Didn't I cast on the wrong size? Or did I fix that already? I'll have to double check.
I think you fixed it.
I think I fixed it. So it calls for a DK or a light worsted weight yarn, which this is.
Yeah.
It comes in a newborn, a baby, a toddler, a child, adult small, and adult large. So fitting up to a 23-inch in diameter head. And the model in the main picture is wearing the adult small medium. Or small. Yeah. What size? What needles am I using? Okay, so you use a US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter, and a US 6 for a 4 millimeter. Pretty simple pattern. The whatchamacallit? The cables have text or a chart, so you have both, which is really helpful. So yeah, so I cast that on New Year's Eve, ripped it out on cast it on New Year's Day, ripped it out New Year's Day, and cast on again.
Right.
And
yeah, these are all my New Year's Day cast-ons.
Did you really cast all that on New Year's Day?
Yeah.
So
no, lies.
Yeah, I was gonna say
the mitts I did on the 3rd.
The 3rd. Okay. So that is all my whips.
Okay, I have one more. This one I'm super excited about. This is living in my gigantic chip basket. And I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
Now you just drew attention.
To your chip basket?
To my chip basket. A few of us on our Zoom knit night were just kind of toying with the idea of potentially just doing a small little knit along amongst ourselves, doing another Vertices Unite, which the pattern is lovely. It gives you an opportunity also to use up a lot of yarn.
Yes.
Which is great. This will be my second one. This is Vertices Unite by Stephen West. And it's a modular shawl. And last one I did using all of Amanda Knits, part of one of her clubs. This year, I am using all of... What was that noise? Did you hear that? All of Boutique Les Garçons in their mysterious clubs. So we have had 3 of their mysterious clubs. There was the Mysterious Forest, Mysterious Manor, and Mysterious Mountain. I knit my Coffee Talk socks. The Mysterious Forest was really cool because it was like magical. All of the skeins of yarn had sparkle in it. So there was bronze, silver, and gold stellina in there. I used the bronze one for my Coffee Talk socks that I did last year. And so I thought it would be fun to put together some colors. And I'm using the entire Mysterious Mountain Club, the 3 skeins there. And I'm using the 2 leftover skeins from the Mysterious Forest with the sparkles in it. I ended up taking maybe it'll be easier to show you. I don't want to take all this stuff out. But these are the 2 from the Mysterious Forest. So you can see the sparkle in there. This has the silver stellina in it. It's not really coming out very sparkly.
No, I was able to see some of the sparkle on screen.
Mm-hmm. So this is the... Oh, you know what? I wrote them all down in my handy dandy notebook. So let me get that for you. Because I put the tags back in the middle of the skein of yarn. Every time I take one out and put it back in it, I find that it gets a little bit funky. So.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. That was my cast on, my first cast on New Year's Day. Mysterious
Crow.
Right. This is Mysterious Crow. And the Mysterious Forest Club is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and this has 5% stellina, silver stellina. This is the Mysterious Deer, which I love that it's like variegated. And this is the same base except 5% gold stellina. And then for the Mysterious Mountain, color A, I did the Mysterious Bear, which I love this deep, like this brown color.
Yeah, it's a really nice
really,
brown.
really nice. The base is absolutely wonderful. It's 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, and 10% nylon. It's really like drapey already, and I'll show you. This is a really cool like plum kind of color. This one is the Mysterious B, Mysterious Goat here. And then this last one, this like cranberry red color, is the Mysterious Squirrel. Yes. This is C. So, here they are all together because it'll be easier just to show you the picture, I think. And then I'll show you what I knit up.
Excuse me.
A little patience, please. So this is what I ended up doing to try to take a picture of them. So A, B, C, D, and E. This is what the color scheme of my shawl is going to look like, which I think looks really, really cool. Because,
I think it will be nice.
Yeah, because this variegated picks up the colors, I think, from a lot of the other skeins of yarn in here.
Yeah.
Which I think it'll look really, really neat. I'm probably going to use, I think I'm going to use this one by itself in that one section.
That's E?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that goes in the big section.
Yeah, so I think that'll be really nice and it'll bring everything together. But I really wanted something like a little moody, darkish.
And is E for the...
No, E is for the small one, I think. C is...
No.
I'm not sure.
E's for the really large square, but I think E might also be the I-cord.
Oh, maybe. That'll be cool.
I think.
Whatever. I can do, we can do whatever we want. So I started section 1, and it's definitely a large section. But this is what I was talking about. It's a lot of knitting. But it's garter back and forth. But because I love the yarn so much...
Yeah, and you can see
together?
some of the sparkle. This is
not sparkle.
None of it's sparkle?
Nope.
Oh, I thought I saw... It could be glitter, because we do have glitter left over in the house.
I already love, the feel
really,
of this.
And the colors go really well together, those.
I chose these myself, guys.
I know, look at you.
What?
You don't even have those glasses.
I don't have those glasses. We'll see how the rest of the shawl turns out, but I love my palette. Yeah. I really do. I think it's going to be, sophisticated and fun. With the sparkle, add that little something to it. It gets 5 skeins of yarn out of our stash. Right. It'll give us something, and I was looking for something to do special with those skeins of yarn, and I think it would be really cool to be able to do that. So I have 3 more skeins of yarn left in the Mysterious Manor Club. I haven't opened, I'm going to let those marinate a little bit in the stash. Maybe something like this will pop up again to be able to use those 3. Those 3 are a little bit more pastel-y. Are they pastel-y colors? There's like a peach.
Yeah. Well, there's one that I see.
Oh, they're up here.
Probably,
you can't see.
No, you can't see them.
There's a little bit of them.
You know what? I was just thinking it could be a really good drifter shawl.
Maybe I don't have the energy for that.
No, I'm saying just for the future. That's it's a 3-color shawl, so that could get them all together in one project.
So, anyway, I'm plugging away. I have a few more. I think I have maybe 20 more stitches to increase up to here, and then I'll and then you start shaping it kind of like it goes straight. But that's it. So that's my my second vertices. I'm very excited about it. I'm really thrilled with the yarns that I chose.
All right, so that's pretty much the projects that we're going to be talking about. Let's do some coupon codes. So these are the codes that we have.
Good job that you remembered.
We have a code. Again, all these codes are down below. in the show notes. And we have Naughty Knitting Sacks. The code is PricklePants15 for 15% off your order.
I gotta get a sweater in that bag.
Trilogy Yarn, which the code is NATR15 for 15% off anything excluding her clubs and kits. Is that one still good?
I'm not sure, so let's hold off on that. Okay.
So then Knit Swag, the code is Kevin and Ray for 15% off your order. Then for Lila Styles, the code is LOVENATR10. That gets you 10% off. Always Queenie Believe is 9-inch Cirque for 20% off. Kitty Did Bags, which is Kevin and Ray 10 for 10% off your order. The Scrappy Angel, NATR Fan 10 for 10% off your order. Stitchy Squid, code is Tarquin15 for 15% off. And then this code is a limited one for Rich Mountain Fiber Co. The code is...
I thought you were going to say for rich people only.
Is NATR20 for 20% off your order. That's good until through March 2023. Oh, and we have... Why do I not know this one? Maker Wool, which is code Needles10 for 10% off your order. So those are all the coupon codes. So I'm going to talk real quick about something like a little...
I just wanted to make sure Twinkle and Twilight was in here, and it is.
So, there is a dye powder that I get from Dharma called Tobacco Leaf, and it's been on back order for a year. So, and there's a couple colorways that I dyed in the past that I would love to repeat that used this color. So, what I did, I'm trying to find like something that's really, really close to it. So, I dyed up a skein using the Tobacco Leaf. So, it's like this orangey brown color. Mm-hmm. And then I have this other dye downstairs from ProChem called Toffee. And I looked at them. I have like a color sheet from Dharma that has all like color blocks. And then from ProChem, I have a color card which has yarn dyed in the colorway, and tried to find something. So this looked pretty similar. They did come out pretty close, but the Toffee's like a little less saturated and not as orange as this. They're very
close, yeah.
They're very close. So I thought this was a fun little experiment to do one day. Yeah. Just like dye them up and see what happened. So this I'm going to add actually just a little, I think, yellow to it. I have a color downstairs that I have in mind to see if I can get it a little bit closer to this Tobacco Leaf. And see, so this was a little fun experiment I did over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's really good because like you were holding off some of your favorite
one of my favorites, Ocean Jasper, which was inspired by Elizabeth, who was knitting. I forget what she showed during knit night that she was using Ocean Jasper, and I was like, oh man, I really love dyeing that, and I loved the yarn once it was done, so I wanted to try to do that again. And Aaron had a skein of steampunk,
right?
So I tried dyeing that, or I did dye that yesterday. I have to see if I...
It looks really good. I mean, I know it's still wet, but
I tried it. So it's fun, or what's going to be fun for me,
hopefully I don't kick the camera. Okay.
Is now that it's almost like 2 years in since I've been like messing around with dyeing, is I have a way better understanding than I did a year ago.
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago. And I've changed the way that I dyed a little bit, finding like what works for me. So I'm going back to my notebook, which has, I don't want to say my recipes, but kind of like recipes, but some of them aren't well thought out or well documented. So I'm going back and trying them again with how I dye now to see how they look. So I did that yesterday with steampunk. So we'll see once it dries if I like it.
Yeah.
And then so there's one other thing that we could talk about, something that we are thinking about doing this year.
Oh yeah.
So here's one plan, or one thing that will happen this year. So by the first week of April, I'll be dyeing full time.
That is so exciting.
At least that's the plan right now. I'll be dyeing full time by the first week of April. So with that being said, we figured I'll be home all the time. So we're going to have a little more time on our hands and to make content. So we're toying with the idea of starting a Patreon sometime in the spring, early summer.
Yeah.
Probably sometime, we'll say between April and June. We have some ideas of content that we would already include. We'll have a couple, probably we're thinking 4 different like subscription tiers. One of them, and we don't know which order, but some of the things that would be included would be like Zoom Knit Night, some live episodes that are only available to Patreons, where it's not maybe it's not so heavily knitting related. It could just be random topics that we choose or that you all choose. Dye with me weekly, so just a weekly video of me dyeing, and that might be like a live thing too, so I can interact with everybody. We were
thinking about having some like bonus videos, like Kevin was saying, like the Dye with me weekly, maybe adding a tutorial or something about like a project, just like little bonus videos. Not sure how
reviews
often.
We were thinking maybe reviews
like
notions, needles, even even a little more in-depth on patterns.
Maybe some like hangouts with our friends, like interviews with the people that we do our knit nights with, or other podcasters or something.
So and then Etsy, which by then I think will probably be over to Shopify, but a discount codes, different tiers will get different level of discount codes for our shop, for the yarn shop.
We think like, because we really enjoy the community, and we like it's sometimes unfortunate that this is our only way to to interact with you all, and like sometimes working full-time, going to school and all those other things, it's hard, because all we want to do is just like this, right? Like I think it's just so much fun to be able to have this and to have the community, and we feel bad sometimes not being able to, not responding right away to emails or messages and things. And we always wanted to do more. Like we had a lot of fun doing like the
tube
yes,
two dupes. We got it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I said tube dudes.
No, you said 2 dubes.
No, I didn't.
Go back and watch the video.
I don't watch them, so
comment below if you heard.
I said tube dudes.
2 dubes. Anyway, we had fun, and we were joking around like an NATR after dark kind of thing, because we were having wine and it was like a lot of fun. So,
no, we're definitely doing NATR.
Yeah, I want to do like NATR after dark.
It would be like a monthly NATR after dark.
But it's so fun, and like when we get to go to like festivals and stuff, and we see the community, it's like I just want to be like in it and have all of you in it as well. So
we just want to do.
We're just playing with the idea. It's nothing.
So if there's anything that you would like to see, or if you leave a comment down below, and then if it's something that we know that we can sustain and do consistently, then it's something that we would start offering or doing later on this year. Like
we don't want to, overpromise and underdeliver is what I was kind of saying to Kevin. So we want to just make sure that it's, it's doable for us. And like now we will have some time for you to be able to focus on that and, set us up for other things. I think it'll be really cool.
All right. So next up is acquisitions. And all right, so let's do what
we have owl post?
No, we have no owl post. So let's do this. Because this was fun.
So, this is kind of owl post and acquisitions, because we bought it for each other.
So for Christmas, one of our stipulations was that we couldn't buy each other like yarn types of stuff. We found a little bit of a loophole. Well, it was kind of like, I think we said no knitting stuff, but we found a little bit of a loophole. This was inspired by first our friend Jeff had this at Rhinebeck.
Jeff is a instigator.
Enabler.
Everybody we know is. I know. Maybe we're just susceptible. Maybe that's what it is. We're just susceptible.
That's what it is. So Jeff had this at Rhinebeck. We saw it at a couple of we saw it at New Haven, and we saw it at Yarnia.
Yeah.
And we bought it for each other, which is really funny.
It is funny.
So we got... Ray bought me my green to match my book bag and my needle case. And I got him the blue.
Look.
This is DellaQ. It's wax canvas. And this is a great... So it's, made for knitting, right? You have some grommets there. You have a zipper here. Great for your phone or wallet. That's what I use it for. In here, you can put projects. There is 1, 2, 3 pockets on that zipper one. Then you have a third zipper section in the back, which has like this little thing for your pens or needles. It has another pocket down here with a that's hard to see, with a button. Then you have a yarn cutter here. I forget what this, just a grommet?
No, it's a yarn cutter.
No, this one is up here.
Oh.
What's this thing? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because you can then zipper this up and have this hang outside.
Can you?
Maybe?
I don't know. I forget what that is. It's another tool. And then...
And it looks cool.
There's another zipper pocket on this side.
It's a medallion.
And then... I think that's everything, right?
Yeah, well, the cool thing is like how it has the shoulder strap. And then you can choose what side you want to have your bag around your back.
And on the back, you actually have a really deep pocket. Bless you. Bless you. Did Mary have this at Connecticut Sheep and Wool?
Mary.
Remember, we also saw her at New England Fiber Festival. She gave us the things for our needles, and she's a spinner.
You know what?
And she called us enablers after seeing a DellaQ on here.
Was it this one?
I don't remember if it was this one. It was in the backpack, but it may have been this.
It might have been this. These are really cool.
I love them.
You can fit a lot. I packed mine up for Christmas when we went over to my mom's house. I had like socks in here that I was working on. I had my wallet and my keys.
Yes.
Like you put everything in here. It was really cool.
Yeah, when we go out of the house, I have my wallet and my keys in here. I have chapstick. I have like gum, all the lotion, all the necessities. So I use this more as like a daily bag than a knitting bag.
Right.
And we'll have a link down below.
That was the loophole.
This was our loophole. To the Jimmy Beans wool where you can get this.
We will. Did you link it already?
No, we'll put it in show notes. We'll just do it afterwards. So
I know.
Then next up is purchasing any acquisitions. I made a purchase prior to the New Year at Joann's. I actually went there to get the buttons for our nephew's sweater that I knit.
Yeah.
And while I was there, I did a little perusing, and I saw that they had some yarn on sale. So I thought this would be good to have in stash for socks. So this is Peyton's or Patton's Croy. This is their sock yarn, which if you watch other podcasts who use this, they say that this is a great like workhorse yarn.
Yeah.
It is just 75% wool, 25% nylon.
I think we have a few of those somewhere.
I bought it in flax and in muslin. So I got 2 skeins of each. They were 25% off. So that's why I purchased them.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
So just good to have for heels, toes, and cuffs. Nice neutrals. And then the last thing...
Well, no, I can show this because this is technically a purchase.
What is it?
So, I got a new I got an iPad case for Christmas and upgraded my iPad Mini to the iPad 10. Kevin has the iPad Pro, which is what we record on, just in case anybody's ever interested. And I was just kind of messing around with the Apple Pencil and stuff, and went into Canva and was just kind of like playing. I was like, oh, we've always talked about maybe creating some graphics or stickers and things that we could turn into pins using some of the things that we say in the podcast, like 9-inch circulars, yarn pantry,
breaking the bank,
etc. So I was just playing around, and I was like, you know what, I had to order some thank you cards anyway for the podcast.
Have those come?
No, they're supposed to come today.
Okay.
Maybe that's the noise that I heard.
Oh, maybe.
I wonder if I should go check and see if they're there. We have to replace the battery in our doorbell camera because it's not recording anymore.
Okay.
I just got the notification today. So I was just messing around. These are by no... And I bought some... added some stickers to the cart when I purchased the thank you cards. So, but I thought that they were fun. So there are... Oh, here they are. So first, I did a little one for Yarn Pantry. which I thought was kind of cute. Then I did Breaking the Bank, which I thought was adorable. And then I did 9-inch circular needles, and I kind of wanted it a little bit like noir. You know what I mean? So I created like a little simple 9-inch circular.
Cute.
So we were talking like maybe to make this bigger. We obviously need to talk to somebody who knows what they're doing. But I was just messing around. I was like, oh, let's see how they look on stickers. So I have 50 of each, which is cool. So we might add some to some of the yarn that we send out or prizes or whatever. And,
absolutely, for sure.
Whatever, just give some away. But I thought that they were cool. So I have the graphics. You can always tweak them and see if it's something that we want. I do like the 9-inch circular one.
Yeah,
I think it looks and I like the Breaking the Bank. I think the Breaking the Bank looks adorable. So that's supposed to look like money going into the bank, like a coin. Got it. You got it?
Yeah, I caught it.
Good. All right.
Is this the last thing?
Yeah.
All right, one last thing.
Y'all.
So we were super, here's the thing. Right?
This is Kevin's fault, completely. No, it is. 100% your fault. So I'll also blame Max and Vincent as well. They do have some ownership in this. Legerson was doing a collaboration like the first week of the year kind of thing.
No.
Or prior to that, right?
Right after, I think it was like 4 or 5 days collaborations starting right after Christmas. So I think it's maybe starting the 26th.
So I've been avoiding looking at them because we were saying like, okay, we're good. Like we don't need anything right now. And so Kevin says to me, oh my gosh, Ray, did you see who they just collaborated with? Because we get their newsletter. And I said, no, I don't want to know. And he's like, okay. And then, of course, I couldn't help myself. So I was like, is it Heidenhammer? He says, yes. I said, I can't. Let's not even look at it. He's like, it's too late. I already looked at it. I was like, is it nice? Now, this is before they launched. We got like a, sneak peek of who they were collaborating with like the newsletter or whatever. So then I was like, I don't even want to see it. He's like, yeah, you do. And so he showed me. I was like, yes. So of course,
we have fast fingers.
Kevin has very fast fingers, and we were able to get 2 of them.
Like what?
I am blown away. Oh, they also sent a cute little another one of these bags. So maybe we'll add this to. Oh no, you need one.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Never mind.
All right. So first off, Heidenhammer bags are just incredibly well made.
Well made.
We have Legarson's other bag from them.
The number 7 bag, maybe?
Or no, I think it's 8. I think it's like a 5 or an 8. Either way, really beautifully made. They're like a wax canvas.
Yeah.
This one's different than any that I've seen from them because it has the drawstring. You have your over-the-shoulder boulder holder.
Right. This is the original bag that we ended up getting.
And this is their typical style from what I've seen. They have large and small versions of this. This bag has a boatload of pockets inside, and there's a couple clips. So I'm going to see if I could, I don't know. I wonder if our lighting is a little bit dark, actually.
Might be. It's okay.
So there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
this one
6.
Has
like 6?
Are they snapped?
Yeah, there's snaps in there.
I didn't notice that.
Right, and then you have the little...
How fun.
Their little image on here. I
think now this is wax canvas, but it feels... Is it wax canvas? What is it?
I don't know. It feels... it is wax canvas. It feels almost vinyl-like.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's just going to get... it's a perfect for hat, socks. You could probably even fit a 2-stain shawl in here.
Yeah, for sure. 2 to 3.
So we'll keep that downstairs as part of my rotation.
And it will hold open.
Yeah. A nice little bucket.
I love that.
Yeah.
And there's no zippers or anything for anything to get snagged on.
Right. Beautiful bag. Well done.
Well done is right. Oh, I love it. Cinches up so cute.
I know.
All right.
I wish they made I wish Heidenhammer made a travel case for to bring your lunch to work, because that'd be a really great bag.
That would.
So I think that's everything. Now we just go on to what we've been reading and watching. So buckle up for this one, y'all. We've watched a ton.
Busy.
So let's see what we watched. We watched. All right. So we watched the Santa Claus 1 and 2. We skipped 3.
Yeah.
We did this after Christmas. We did it Christmas night, actually.
Yeah.
No.
Christmas Eve.
We did a Christmas Eve after the podcast. And then once we finished those, we started watching the Santa Clauses, which is the Disney Plus TV series that just came out this year. And it was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
It had some like nostalgic moments, and had some characters that you wanted to see, some that didn't play as big of a role in the show that you would have liked to have seen. It was entertaining, but it wasn't the movies. The movies, those first 2 movies are one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Mine
they make
too.
me laugh. I like them.
Yeah. It as the movies progress, I think the third one really showcases how campy everything kind of got, like, and just over the top. I liked the first one's my favorite because it feels, real, kind of like it feels like, I don't know.
Yes.
It's very well done. So I agree. I think the TV show was a little bit, I don't know.
It just didn't have the same feel.
I didn't like the protagonist, really. Like, that whole storyline was a little off to me.
Yeah, it just...
I liked his kids.
I don't know if I did.
No? I don't think I minded them.
So we watched that.
Yep.
And then we watched season 2 of...
Wow, Kevin, we watched a lot.
I know.
I'm looking at the list.
Fate, the Winx Saga. That's on Netflix. Unfortunately, while we were watching it, we saw that it got canceled.
I know.
But I think they actually kind of wrapped up season 2 pretty well.
No,
I mean...
No, because now she's sucked into that whole portal.
Yeah, but... and that could just be the end of it. Type of thing. Like, that could just be it.
I was not satisfied.
If there was a season 3, I wouldn't hate the idea of it. But I'm like, okay, it is what it is. It's based on a cartoon that this actually took a completely different spin than the cartoon from what I saw. I enjoyed both seasons 1 and 2. They're fairies. They live in a whole... they live in another, like, dimension.
Right.
So there's magic, there's actual fighting. They're all teenagers. I think in the series,
the people who are not fairies, there's like fairies, and then you have like their guardians kind of thing. They're like they use swords and whatever. I forgot what they're called too.
Me too. But I think it's good. I enjoyed the series. Mm-hmm. And then we also watched The Recruit, which is a new series on Netflix with Noah Centineo, I think his name is. Oh, I really liked it.
I really liked it as well.
I thought it was a good like spy type of TV show, even though he's not a spy.
So he's a lawyer in the CIA, and he kind of gets sucked into actually being an operative. He
makes a mess. He just gets involved in some crazy crap in this show.
I like the actor. He reminds me so much of what's his name?
Do you think Mark Ruffalo?
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, he does kind
so
of
much for like, but he's it's nice. Like he's I think he's got a really cool vibe about him as like an actor. Like he's kind of like that good boy.
Yeah, he's charming.
And
then he in a scene, he goes from charming and like bumbly, to
like from Clark Kent to Superman.
Yeah, kind of in a span of 30 seconds, he kind of does that in here.
And then he becomes like this, like, nope, this is how it's going to be. This is this, and this, and I'm super smart, and I could tell you all of these things. And you're like, whoa. Okay.
And then that female, she reminds me of, we both said it, she reminds me of Angelina Jolie. She has that structure to her face, almost from her in, like, Girl Interrupted.
Yes, totally.
Right? Right?
With the hair.
Yeah, so definitely recommend that. I finished watching season 2 of Star Wars Rebels. I have to start season 3. We watched House of the Dragon. We're halfway through.
Yes.
We've watched 5 episodes.
Finish it this weekend.
This weekend we plan on finishing it. So if you're a Game
I know we're a little late to the party.
Not too late. It just came out within the past year.
Right.
So if you are a Game of Thrones fan, this is the prequel. It focuses on the Targaryen family. And it's, how many years did we say? Was it like 300?
150.
Okay. So, you know.
I mean, you said 10,000.
Whatever.
Or something.
Whatever. What is time?
I mean, there's a
big difference.
You're right.
No. So none of your characters from Game of Thrones are born, living. They're all.
Not even a thought yet.
Yeah. And it happens actually prior to any characters that were mentioned in the past. As well,
the crazy king guy.
No, it happens before him. This is before him.
No, I know that, but we hear about. No, you're right. We don't yet.
In this timeline, the Mad King that you heard about in Game of Thrones hasn't even been born.
Right, we know of.
No, he hasn't. I researched.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Good job. Way to ruin it for yourself.
But it's really good. You know, it's brutal. There's a lot of blood.
I would
lot
not
of fighting.
if there's a lot of trigger moments in this one.
There's a lot of
a lot
naughty bits. So, but it's still good. And then we watched the 2 Knives Out movies. So we watched Knives Out, and then last night we watched The Glass Onion. Ray had never seen the original Knives Out.
Nope.
I did, and I enjoyed it. So I wanted to watch it, or have him watch it, prior to watching the new one, even though you don't need it
at all.
But the only character from both movies is Daniel Craig's character.
He plays a good character.
He does. So I enjoyed both. I thought last night's was funny.
I loved it. So I did enjoy both as well. The first one, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was good. I don't think, like, it wasn't like, oh my God, it's my favorite movie ever.
Right. You enjoyed it, but you weren't like overly thrilled. You weren't like, oh wow, that's really good when you were done. You're like, oh, that was good.
Yeah. And but the one last night I thought the Glass Onion was leagues better. I really enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And I usually don't like what's his face since
Edward
Norton since I never really liked him. I didn't like him in the Hulk movie. I didn't like him in The Italian Job. I hated him in that because he was such a jerk. But he didn't bother me that much. In The Glass Onion.
Okay.
But I really liked it. I thought it was really good.
I would recommend it.
I definitely recommend it as well.
And that's on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So reading, I have finished 2 books. They're both male romance novels. Tons of naughty bits. So if that's not your thing, don't read these. I read a previous series by this author. So I just needed, in the Christmas time, I needed easy. So I read...
What, is the name of it even bad?
Crankshaft.
Stop it.
And Stroker.
Kevin, what the...
By K.M. Neuhold.
Filth.
So this follows the main character in both of them work at are mechanics.
Of course, the crankshaft.
And
it's pornography.
In the same town that the other series that I read, which they were all construction workers. It was like Four Bears Construction is the...
We'll talk about this in NHR After Dark. Do you want to be our Patreon? I'm getting red just even hearing you talk about it.
So, what I liked with this one, so main character, their names are awful though. They're so bad. So the main character in the first one, the mechanic, his name's Steele. Right? I forget the other one.
Shaft?
No. Porter. Porter is... So that's the couple in the first one. And how do they come to meet again?
He probably walked into the mechanic's garage and said, hey...
No.
There's something wrong with my shifter.
No. I don't remember. Something with Steele's dog grabbed a bunny from the nest in their backyard, and he had to take him to the vet. Porter's a vet. He had just taken over a local veterinarian practice, and that's kind of how they met. Porter's friends with all of the construction workers from Fort Bear Construction. Steele's friends with them because they all own their own businesses, blah, 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 blah. They met at the bar, which I have to go back and double check. I think the name of the bar is Woody's, which we just talked about on Thursday night from Queer as Folk.
Really?
Yeah. So I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure.
That's funny.
But in this series, we also meet Steele's brother. What the fuck is his name? I don't know.
Aluminum?
You're such a jerk. No. I don't remember. And I literally just read this. So whatever, his brother is in there, but he's one of the characters in the second book. Oh. And then another mechanic from the place, Tallahassee, is...
His name is Tallahassee?
Yes. So, what you
I'm
find...
not judging you.
No, I know. Steele has always told his brother, I have one rule for... His brother's just a complete mess up. And never stays in one place too long. Always on the go. Always a different job. So he's always told his brother, just don't hook up with any of my friends. I don't want you to break them like you break everything else, pretty much. So in the second book, you find out that Tallahassee and Steele's brother have been married for 9 years, and Steele doesn't know. And it was just kind of on a whim in Las Vegas, like almost like a joke, but not really.
For 9 years?
For 9 years, and
wow.
The night that they got married, I have to find out his name. He left and would come back to town every couple of years. So there's a lot of animosity between the two of them, and they don't get along. But they do, and they want to talk about it, but they don't. So it's kind of like that one's them repairing their relationship.
There's a bald eagle.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm currently reading 2 books. So one of them is when I have the energy to do something that takes a little bit more energy, because it is written a little differently.
Than your smut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with some feedback from y'all, I think there were 3 people who commented that they did read the Broken Earth series. So I am reading the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. I'm only on chapter 3. So I'm just getting a little bit used to the writing style and almost like the narrator. Mm-hmm. It's not a narrator. What? Yeah. It's just, it's different than going from Cradle to this is very different.
Yeah, sure.
And then another book I just started last night was called Never Hero by T. Ellery Hodges. From what I saw is that there's aliens. So there's some monsters in here that I've already seen. Somebody died from it. This was in 2003. And then the next chapter took place 7 years prior to that. And now I'm on chapter 3, which takes place, I think, 3 years after the first chapter.
Oh.
So there's been a bunch of jumping around. Mm-hmm. And so I really get no idea what's going on. I think the main character is getting recruited to fight aliens.
Oh.
Is how I'm reading it. All I know is that he was followed home by a tall man who's 7 feet tall, blonde hair to his shoulder, and he was wearing a black fedora.
Wow.
Yes. I mean, he's incredibly strong. He did not flinch when he got hit with a baseball bat in his arm. Instead, it reverberated back to the other guy's arm.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, 7 feet tall is pretty tall.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been reading.
Good. I have been reading no porn. I have been reading let's see. I finished no trash. I finished book 11 from the Cradle series by Will White.
DreadGod.
It was called DreadGod. It was, it was great. There is going to be one more.
I don't know when.
Yeah, I don't know when either, but I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be really, really good, and I can't wait for the series to wrap up. I can't believe that we've read 11 books in that series. It did not feel like that. Mm-mm. And I think I said this last time, is that each book really picked up right where the other one left off, and you didn't feel like there was that awkward in between at all. So
the author did a fantastic job of tying in all books and not doing the whole, I'm going to recap the previous book for 10% of this book.
Right. And I did a combination of reading on the Kindle and listening to it on audio, which the narrator on Audible did a great job. I think he did a wonderful job. It's also interesting, and I'll talk about that in what I also, the next book that I finished, which was The Choice by Nora Roberts. It's book 3 in the Dragonheart series. I really loved this series. The first 2 books, I couldn't wait for the third one to come out. I think it came out in November, but I was trying to finish up this series before I picked that one back up again. The premise of that series is a woman who kind of lives a drab life. She is a teacher, but nothing really gives her joy. She's a redhead, but she dyes her hair. Her mother is kind of very much, you need to conform to society, and what are the neighbors going to think, and this one. So she was at her mother's house. This was in the first book. She was at her mother's house, and her father can't, don't know. She doesn't know what happens to her father. So it was just like her and her mom. And she realizes, going through her mom's things, there was a gust of wind and a bank statement kind of fluttered to the ground. She realized that her dad set her up with over $4 million. And she looked at that as a way to kind of escape that lifestyle. She has a really cool friend. His name is Marco. He's gay. He is a wonderful person. They get along very well. They have like a brother-sister kind of relationship. He's also her roommate. And so she decides that she wants to take a trip to Ireland and kind of explore her roots a little bit. And then
this is book 1?
This is book 1. And this is kind of like the series, like how it all kind of comes together. And so while she's there, she realizes that she has her other family. Her father was part of this other world, and it's like a fae realm. And so there's magic and dragons, and the series is her learning about that world, becoming a part of that world, becoming herself, and then realizing her like dreams to become an author. And so she writes these books, and and so it's really just her kind of discovering herself. And then obviously we realize that, I don't want to give too much away, but we realize that she's got some lineage there, and she's got some powers, of course, that nobody else does, and there's somebody out there that wants it, and blah 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 blah, battles and things like that. But really cute series. The third book I thought lived up to the other 2 books until the end. So things do get wrapped up. It is an ending, but it left me wanting a little bit more. There's some storylines that weren't fully wrapped up. It did end on a happy ending. So I'll definitely give you that. But there are some events that they talk about. I'm trying not to give it away, but there's some events that they talk about that you want to see happen. And the book ends before that happens. And it just kind of sucks a little bit, because I was so invested in these characters. I loved Marco. I loved her, their relationship. The author, Nora Roberts, did a really good job. I think she does a really good job with character development in general. Mm-hmm. And so, you feel like they're your friends as well. Like, you want to be part of this world. It's just lovely, for their interactions and stuff. And then you want to see a happy ending for everybody, and you want to see what happens to the rest of these people that you're also committed to, and not just the main character. So I think towards the end of this book, that's where it fell apart a little bit for me, a little bit disappointing at the very end, because it does focus on the happy ending. But and everybody does get a happy ending. You just don't see everybody's happy ending except for the main characters, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Without giving too much away. So that was that. Those are the 2 books that I finished, and I just started last night, so I have really no idea what I think yet of this book, but this is called The Raven Spell by Luanne G. Smith. And, you get a notification for Heroes?
So she's the same author. You just read that other series by her.
Yeah, so she's the author that does, not The Invisible Life of...
The Vine Witch?
The Vine Witch. Yes.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really care for...
The third book.
The third book in that one. So this is a 2-book series, and this takes place in early 1800s England, which is kind of like the same...
Yeah.
And so really what it is the main character of the... It's like a magical murder mystery kind of thing. And the main character, the premise is that he loses his memories. And so he wakes up on this beach and has no idea who he is or why he's there. And then he's just trying to figure himself out, realizes that there is some magic afoot, and seeks out these 2 sister witches to help him get his memories back. We do find something out in the first couple of pages that it's already interesting to me.
Okay.
Yep. And then there's this whole world of hiding from the humans and discovering some murders and things that are happening, and trying to solve the cases while trying to get his memory back while teaming up with one of the sisters. I thought it sounded really interesting, so we'll see how it goes. I like the writing style so far, is really good. It's easy to follow. I think there is an Audible companion to that, which is really cool about Kindle Unlimited, is that some of the books also have free Audible companion to it, so you can listen to it on audio as well without having to spend any extra money, which I think was really good.
Absolutely.
And I think that's it.
That is the show. That is everything today. I think we covered a lot.
Thank you.
So thank you all for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Again,
thank you.
Gratitude.
We
have the winner from the Pom Pom magazine. Please contact us. Any suggestions?
Mary, I think that was her name.
Yeah. Any suggestions for a Patreon? Drop those down below.
Yeah.
Any other questions or anything? Leave a comment, thumbs up, and we will catch you all in a fortnight.
Bye.
Bye, guys.